What a life, what a life. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Sugarlo's boy, Sugarlo's blessings to that great Calypsonian, and more than Calypsonian to us in Trinidad and Tobago. We would do well to pay attention to his words as we continue to see interesting developments in our region. We are concerned to some extent, and I cannot fault anyone for being a bit concerned as well. Interesting times, extremely interesting times we live in. Of course, we have seen our Prime Minister trying to allay the concerns and fears, both, or probably all of the dailies, but both of the daily newspapers that I've looked at carry her statements as she visited the job employment center that they have set up at the facility in Couva, trying to extend that employment to as wide a possible group of Trinbagonians as possible. We see that Trinbagonians are responding positively, to call it that, in need of that employment, that physical setup being made available, and people taking advantage of the opportunity with that real hope and desire to be able to work and earn and take care of their family, to take care of their loved ones, to take care of themselves, and to advance their lives in a progressive manner. Around those topics as well, we've heard the Prime Minister speak about the end of the last structure of URP, which she likened to a real negative form of employment, which did not allow for much in terms of advancement, opportunity, to go to the bank, etc., to really stabilize yourself financially, but it was an end, and the desire and the impetus is to move from that place and move people from that place to a better place. Not just an end, but a beginning, right? Something more substantial. And conceptually, I could not agree more, and we look forward to the actual rolling out of those initiatives. We look forward to it being materialized. Of course, the process has definitely begun, and it would feel good. It would feel good as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and also as a leader as well, to have this type of engagement, and for people to have that hope, and also to realize some forward progression economically. I know I read extensively, and I know I would have browsed over somewhere the issue of the challenge of migrants on Trinidad and Tobago, and even the Prime Minister's statements about how challenging it is to carry even that weight of migrants on Trinidad and Tobago. Also, additionally, I know people are paying attention. I know we are very, very interested in what is taking place economically with our country, because we would be able to realize there are significant economic challenges that we face. I'm looking at the newspaper, and Obviously in the situation, the Prime Minister and a number of her members of cabinet are smiling while interacting with the press. But it is even challenging to continue to smile, knowing the economic challenges that face us, right? We are resilient by nature. We are a people who meet our challenges with that type of attitude and energy, which is one of the most beautiful things about a Trini, right? There's this joke going around. I saw the joke online. What will you do if there's war or whatever? What will you fight back with and the joke is we'll fight back with kicks and joke. That is a Trinbagonian. We might sit down and lime with invading force. Who might say, meet me on the avenue, and the battleground that the avenue is supposed to be, we lime it out. And Trinbagonians and whoever else from wherever end up drunk on the avenue or laughing it off on the avenue. We don't sober and all. Many of us, our nature is inclined that way. It is inclined that way. Maybe historically from what we have been through as well, we have that ability to survive, to smile and to forge through challenges. And that is absolutely admirable. And of course, there are other people who are resilient across the world as well. And we can compare because other people face real challenges as well. But we have these things before us. We are simultaneously dancing with the devil and playing with fire. It's not easy. And sometimes I sympathize as well because I can look at the reality of the situation and say, what else are we to do? Where are we to turn between a rock and an extremely hard place? But pray, I asked Trinbagonians this Friday, right? Pray and ask God for that direction and guidance. If we have, as individuals, decisions to make as well, let us do it with a conscious mind, a clean spirit, and with that abundance of prayer so that the discernment that is necessary can be imparted on us. Collectively as a people, while we may feel that we do not have a voice or a say, we do have a voice and we do have a say. And in the determination of our affairs in the not too distant future, it is us as a people who will have to speak and speak clearly as to what we desire. Without the political nonsense, without that, without the individuals who have those roles of responsibility, we consider what they have to say, we hear them out, we hear their arguments one way or the next, most times motivated by just their desires and their political positions, but not motivated by the best interest of the people. We hear them, we could hear them, but then it is up to us. It is up to us. So educate and inform yourself. Educate and inform yourself. And I hope that I can offer that some of the assistance in that process of educating and informing us correctly. Nobody don't win no war. My personal perspective is that I have no interest in the ambitions of imperial entities and their desire for power. They have exacted that on us as a people. We have reached a certain stage in our independence, a certain stage, and we have to really check ourselves and see how we can forge further forward and realize greater independence. If we are to deal with others as is the desire to trade and to work together and to assist each other as people, as citizens of the world, it must be on a level of mutual respect. Mutual respect and equality. So, tremendously interesting. Sticking to that word for now, right? Tremendously interesting times that we live in. And like a caller said yesterday, God boy, never have a dull moment. Bacchanal consistently. And even in the situation of the Chief Justice, which we spoke about briefly yesterday, you know, I listened to Mr. Martin Daly this morning. I listen because our forms of information are so advanced. You know, you can go on to some of the news platforms and they will actually play the article for you, so you can listen as well. So if you may not have time to read, or it is easier for you to listen, which it is for me at times when I'm doing other things as well, it is being brought to you, information is being brought to you in a even easier and more palatable form. So, you know, Mr. Martin Daly would have expressed his opinions around the process, the way that it was done, and again, I extend myself as far as possible to listen and to hear the discussions and the arguments from all sides available, and then even from people who may appear to be neutral and unbiased. I listen to who overtly biased one side or the next. I listen to those who appear to be unbiased, and then I also try to understand for myself. But the way things are done sometimes as well add to the bacchanal, add to the issue, and sometimes maybe it is done purposefully in that way, because that is the way that the end can be achieved, right? And again, we have to understand the political system and the way that it works. And we have to understand that maybe a president selected by the electoral college before, which would have been controlled by the PNM, is not the exact person you want to deal with when you want to come to a conclusion. It's not easy, and you have to cope with that politically aligned person who's supposed to then be independent. How, I don't know, when they're so deep. And I know that was a concern for all of us who were paying attention politically when Miss Christine Kangal was elected, but really selected, because she's not exactly apolitical at all. She was overtly and openly extremely associated, affiliated, entrenched in the PNM, right? It is interesting and challenging, and maybe we should, as Kingsley would have stated yesterday, maybe we should look towards ways in which we can change the processes to come about with more neutral results. And I think neutrality works better for us as a people. And that's why I said that despite the political positions of both entities regarding what is before us in terms of the challenges in our zone, the challenges with Venezuela, etc., Trinbagonians must also think, and we must also assess the situation and have our say. Our say cannot just be every 5 years for an electoral process, and an electoral process that we have issues with as well. It cannot be just then. We have to be able to organize ourselves as well and make our decisions for the best interests of the people and articulate those positions clearly so that they will be followed by these people who represent us. Listen to the people. You have to have the ability to listen to the people if you want to represent again us, not just lead us, but represent us as well. So, we in this position. I've also read, and we're going to the top of the hour so we can come back in after and people can weigh in as well. I've also read where some naval vessels of the United States are going to visit Trinidad, right? And I also read within that article, and I'll go to it as well, that there are going to be some joint exercises or training exercises by the United States forces and Trinidad and Tobago, and those things concern us. Those things concern us, Trinidad and Tobago. Mind all your business as well. And I'm not one of those who are trying that fear-mongering thing for their own political gain. It have that. I listen careful with them, but we have a decision to make as well. And we have to be careful. I was reading this quote that was very profound, where they say that the decisions of politicians then have to be carried out by the people. And it was in particular for the situation of conflict and war. Men on high, not even here alone, other places, because we understand that our administration is a smaller speck in the wider scheme of things, right? Men on high make decisions, and then the people have to face the consequences of conflict and war, etc. We'll take the break and we'll be back.
With the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the street 919 FM.
Are you searching for answers to life's questions? Those things that disturb and concern you the most? Why all the wickedness? Why the suffering in the world? Will it end? Who is responsible? Well, if so, join us right here on The Street 91.9 FM every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. with Brother Samuel Gooding and Roland White, where we open the Bible and find answers to all these things and more. For it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Alloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
What are you doing?
Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. The big nation, cause they don't know we were the crown. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our fun, and let we join together, because KFC is life.
It's a big D. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Hi there, I'm Lester Suglal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launched from Kings Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Share the lawn. Share the lawn.
The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Good morning again to Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, all those across the diaspora who are tuned in. 342-008-146-65391. You know, our lines are always open, so feel free to weigh in as we deal with the interesting times that we are fortunate to live in. Good morning, Mr. West. Morning.
Morning, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, I think you touched on some very important issues which confront this country today. And I remember some years ago, a gentleman called Endel Thomas, he used to say, he often speak about the reasonable man or the man on the Clapham bus. But in Trinidad, you have to deal with the rational and the irrational. And to any rational person, what is taking place, the development, must evoke some concern, right? So I am concerned as to what is actually taking place with the recent development with respect to the war battleships and whatnot, that, you know, and one which is I'm saying that is about to hit our shores. So I am concerned, as any rational person should be. I don't think I'm that irrational. I'm bordering more on rational. So I am concerned.
I would describe you as such, Mr. West. You're definitely on the rational side.
Well, I thank you for that. If you discern that kind of quality in me, I'm happy to hear that. Something I want to say again with respect to this matter at Point Lisa, because it's serious, and this matter can you know, evoke again serious political, social, and economic ramifications. And I'm saying that you can't deal with that as if, well, you have somebody renting somebody a parlor or a house, and he has a rent in arrears, and you could just put up a notice to quit and he doesn't move, and you say, I gave you 14 days ago, right? And you go inside. This thing calls for people with experience and the expertise to negotiate. You negotiate with multinational. And my experience here, when those matters came up in the past, because I can go back and there's other things that you could criticize previous regime for, but you get those people who have the expertise to negotiate. And I don't know, I am not knowledgeable in that field, but I observe what took place. And you need to look at all those companies down at Point Lisa who are facing similar circumstances and deal with that. Because I'm saying that this thing, and I know who I said it to, you know, you need to deal with this thing with alacrity. You need to deal with that with some expertise. You need to get the best people there to go down there and deal with those people down there. It's not like so. And when you put up the notice to quit, and the person doesn't quit, you start to board up wrong the man place, or the man window. You start to put, for example, the port. You can't use the port, and partner go down there. When we talk about the group diplomacy, diplomacy applies in a number of circumstances. You know.
Yeah.
Internationally, you have diplomacy that you can use in offices. Between you and probably Kingsley, you could use diplomacy. So I'm saying that you need to deal, and you need to get the expertise, those people, to deal with that situation down there. We cannot afford for those forex earners and to lose unemployment.
Yeah, I think I would have seen that. I think I would have seen, and the article is in front of me as well, where they have averted the shutdown of the plant. And yesterday there was a high level delegation, the head of NEC and others, that met with the company's head, etc. And reports coming out. I've seen two different reports, which is interesting as well, but that they have averted the situation and that I think they're working on a way forward. So hopefully that works out for me, you, and the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. West.
Well, I trust that they do the right thing, right? One thing I want to talk about again is with respect. I heard Mr. Chris yesterday, and I think he made a very pertinent contribution on another program that I heard. And it's important that people really get the facts. And yesterday you were quite in line in terms of presenting the facts with respect to this appointment of the Chief Justice. And I am saying that there are things that must be put into the equation. And one of the things is that one needed to understand what is the meaning of consultation. And as I said, and I think that has been exposed, and Chris alluded to it, right? The definition is there. And I went back, I couldn't put my hand on the pertinent case, per se, or the judgment, because they would have gone by way of interpretation summons to the High Court to get an interpretation as regards what is the true meaning, what constitutes or what amounts to and this is the kind of thing that people need to be doing in this country, instead of people just coming and spewing things that people don't understand and they're running all over the place. So I was happy to hear Chris elucidate on that matter, right? And the question of precedent. When you talk about precedent, how was it dealt with before? When the question came up with respect to the appointment of a Chief Justice, and I think the Prime Minister, if I am to take her word, she said that Shad Sama was appointed at least 24 hours after his resignation or his retirement. So I'm saying that there is precedent. Now the question that Kingsley said, and he was quite, and this is why the discussion is so, I learned. Kingsley was saying, well, look, listen, you need to get this thing clear in terms of setting out a clear procedure with respect. So you won't have people saying, well, look, listen, this thing, what is reasonable time? Reasonable time, what is reasonable to me may not be reasonable to somebody else. And in most instances, it's the court to determine what is reasonable time. If you go into property law, you get those, the court would intervene. Employment law, what is reasonable? 7 days, 2 hours might be reasonable, but it's what is, and that decision is with the court. And therefore, if you want to you need to look, and people talk about, you have to include the Chief Justice and improve, but there's nothing there, there's no precedent with respect to that. There's no, and therefore you may need to amend the Constitution to set out a procedure that when the person is notwithstanding the fact that you consult the leader of the opposition and the Prime Minister, you should also go on to all civic organizations. But that isn't there. So people just running about the place and spewing all kind of feelings, what I feel and what I feel that is supposed to be this and that, and not what is fact. Thank you, Mr. Abu. I don't want to go further on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we welcome anybody who wishes to weigh in on the topics and other topics that are pressing in the media. To feel free, 342-00814665391. Good morning, brother. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Abu. How are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad at all, man.
Good to hear, man. Listen, I just took two Paranol there. I was always take 2 Paranol after listening Mr. West.
You and me laughing. All right.
No, I'm being honest with you, Mr. I just have 2 Paranol aside. And I hope I could call and make my contribution before I could go to work and I don't have to hear him. But I just always have 2 Paranol there because Mr. West does really make mistake when he called. Very convenient gentleman. Very far for a gentleman who is not affiliated with any political party. Anyhow, Mr. Ford, I looked at the news last night, and I saw that the Law Association is also against the swinging of the Chief Justice yesterday. Now, when the Law Association steps into something, it means that it is very serious. And they came in, they made their points yesterday, and they are totally against. Now, I don't think that it could be reversed. It has already happened, and that is the case with that. But the Law Association felt it right to come out and condemn what took place yesterday. Now, Mr. Fuad, in truth and in fact, the Prime Minister nor the opposition elected the Chief Justice yesterday. It was only Mr. Wayne Mark. He alone had a say with that. And I'm going to tell you why. The Constitution, which is law, which people supposed to be guided by, says plainly the President and the acting President have the right to elect a Chief Justice. And it goes on to say, with consultation with the opposition leader and with the Prime Minister. The opposition leader was not consulted. Nor was she told who is or was Mr. Wayne Mark's choice. So that don't fail already. The Prime Minister sent a letter to Mr. Wayne Mark saying, I do not have a preference. So that is the two of them out there. The Prime Minister out because she don't have a preference. The opposition is out because you gave the opposition until 1 o'clock to respond, and she didn't even know who was your choice. You didn't even have the respect to say, well, I have this person in mind, and so on. So the Prime Minister told Mr. Wayne Mark, well, you go ahead, man. You go ahead now. You choose, and I will be okay with that. So in truth and in fact, the Constitution, which we are supposed to be guided by, was not followed. You could jump high, you could jump low, you could look left, you could look right. The Constitution was not followed when it came to electing a Chief Justice. It was followed. And when I heard the Law Association, when they came on board and said what they have to say, I say, oh, thank you. So me talking by guess means somebody will take something and run with it or hearsay. I follow what is said and I follow the Constitution. Mr. Ford, you have a blessed day.
Yeah, you too as well.
I'm going to take me 2 Paradol now.
I thought you take it already. I've been perusing through the article on the issue as well. I've seen also the response by the Prime Minister as well, outlining that similar actions had been taken before with another previous appointment of Chief Justice. I'm reading the wording of the Law Association as well. Also seeing the criticisms that have been leveled against the Law Association apparently as well. So good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. 2 matters I want to treat with. First, I want to treat with the appointment of the CJ and Ms. Kamala Prasad Bissessar. The date of departure of Chief Justice Sat Sharma had been etched in stone and known long before Mr. Archie was appointed. Long. We just wake up one morning and the CJ say, I'm going. Next thing we know, he gone. Next thing we know, they appoint the CJ.
Yeah, well, he would have indicated that he was going in this term, but the day, poof, yeah.
We did not know the date of his departure.
Yeah. So you're saying that in the case of Mr. Sharma, the date was actually long before? All right.
Yes, long before.
Remember you're teaching some of us as an older person, because we may not have paid attention to it during our lifetime, even though it transpired, right? Remember? Yeah.
Well, look, the point I want to make to you the Prime Minister is always feeding me smoke and mirrors. And I don't know why. I don't know if she believed that she doesn't have a population that is educated, aware, and understand the dynamics of the situation. So she could sell me anything she wants. Look, let me move on to this U.S.-Venezuela situation. The Prime Minister is telling me, I have no information of any war taking place. If I know anything, you will know. Stay calm. My name is Kamala. 5,000 missiles in Venezuela. U.S. warship in Trinidad on Sunday. Stay calm. My name is Kamala. And the entire Venezuelan cabinet is cussing our Prime Minister left, right, and center, black as white. So that means that we are in the crosshairs of anything that could happen. So she wants us to stay calm until the first missile drop. Do you know what is the consequence of a missile dropping on the Garcara refinery? Or a missile dropping on Point Lisas? Or the 4 trains at Point 14? Do you know what's the consequence of that to our economy and our survival over the next 5 decades?
Yeah, none of us really know, and none of us really want to know. That is the extent of challenge that it will face us.
We don't want to know. And I believe to myself that if the Prime Minister of this country is being outplayed on the global stage, the persons who constitute members of the lower house of the UNC know they have a responsibility to history to do what is necessary. Yesterday, I was so appalled, I was nauseated when my Prime Minister described members of the Law Association, an organization of which she's senior counsel and sits on the inner bar, as eater food filth. What is wrong? Is something psychologically wrong up there? We really and truly have to understand what is taking place and unfolding before our very eyes. And if it's unfolding before our very eyes, the members of the UNC who support the Prime Minister in Parliament has a responsibility to history to rise this ship and bring us about. And that can only be done if they get sense and decide to work with their constitutional responsibility, but their oath of office. The oath of office, which is observing the laws of this country and defend the Constitution against all. If they did that, the ship would be right and we may be saved. But this cannot go on. It cannot go on.
Yeah,
and I am putting it on the shoulders of the members of the UNC who are in the lower house. I am done with the Prime Minister. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your views as well. And I'm reading through the article. I'm reading through the article and seeing the scathing attack against the Law Association. Whether it is warranted or meritorious, it was a ferocious attack on the leadership of the Law Association as well. And I am not going to comment too much on that. Interesting the description. Like I said yesterday as well, we are so politically aligned in Trinidad and Tobago one way or the next, with real incentives, real bias based on incentive, because we know the interconnection between briefs, association, promotion within the legal sphere. And that in and of itself is also concerning to us as a people, as a population general. Not those entrenched so much in whatever political persuasion and bias, but for us as a people, where members of your legal fraternity as well are aligned in certain ways. And I could tell you, because in the few instances where I've had challenges politically, you have to consider carefully your representation from the legal sphere because of affiliation and other things. It's difficult. this impartiality, this independence is really challenged by the political climate that we live in, and by real incentives, by real things that are used to drive individuals one way or the next. And it does not stop in the judicial realm. It does not stop. The incentives do not stop. The promotion, the briefs, which is legal payouts to do certain work. You see members of the legal fraternity enjoying endless, bountiful briefs flowing from government, and government obviously flowing in the direction of their political persuasions and attachments, and it is messy. It is messy. It is concerning for us trying to maneuver in between. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, my brother. Peace and blessings, man.
And peace and blessings to you too, man. Welcome.
I was so disappointed yesterday watching this debate with the budget with this minister. I think it was tourism. I'm not even sure what's his name, but he can answer no questions at all. Everything is the assistant next to him, a young lady or an ex-gentleman on the other side have to try to explain it to him. He don't know nothing about the expenses and this type of thing. It was so shameful on the part of the UNC. Very shameful. And
didn't view yesterday, but you can't remember who it was.
No, I think it was the tourism minister. Right?
Okay.
Because they're asking about certain monies that was allotted and he can't explain nothing. You understand?
Right.
Like he just, I mean, it was very shameful. If you're going to represent, if you are elected to represent in a certain ministry, you must be able to understand or ask questions and so on before you go. You had a whole week, right? That you could understand these things before they start to debate the budget, right? You're supposed to have a proper understanding as to what these monies are for, allocated for, and things like that. You understand? It was very shameful. It was a disgrace. You understand?
I'm not sure. I'll have a look at it, and I don't know if it's Mr. Kama Maraj you're talking about. I want to doubt that because he is an astute individual and businessman and quite articulate as well. So I want to doubt, but I will have a look back at it.
Boy, that was the worst. I line. The other thing too.
I know there are other people, and there would be younger ministers and new people who would be challenged in their first outing. I know also, if you have looked at standing committees before, that you do weigh heavily, you lean heavily on those administrative staff to advise you, because it is very voluminous as well, and they would have the particular details. For a matter of fact, there's also the provision for you to answer in writing, because sometimes what is asked of you at the point in time is not at your fingertips, so to speak now. So I'm not sure I will look over it again, but if you are someone who continuously looks at these things, I hope you're being fair as well to them, but I will have a look.
You look at it and you see. The other thing too is I don't know why, as we all know, was the mission for Venezuela and also to get back to Colombia. You understand? We know his mission, right? It's not no drug, and I don't know why our leader keep voicing these types of opinion. Just stay quiet on these issues. It's very shameful too, because that is a serious thing. The rest of the world are looking at us in a different way too, no? Because they know exactly what Trump wants to do. You understand? He is after the resources, the largest reserve in the world. That is what he wants, right? And she keep jumping in with her mouth it's not nice for Trinidad because I saw Abdullah on an interview on Greystone with this guy, and I mean they spoke from Maurice Bishop time coming right back, and it was very disgraceful to see this our leader taking that stand with Trump, knowing how corrupted they are. You understand? And also the party the role he wants to take is to give control of Southern America. You understand? This whole region going right back down, and it's because of the resources, and they are very corrupted. They show you Rubio with drug men, 2 big drug men from Colombia in Venezuela partying. You understand? Rubio. So it shows you what these men and them, and also Guaido, Rubio and Guaido and 2 big drug men. You understand? So it shows you the aim they're into drugs. Money is weapons, money is drugs. Money and diamond and things against so on is weapons and drugs that activating most of the money, stimulating most of the money right now. And that's what they're after. You understand? So they're involved in drugs as well. So why we have to try to understand and read between the lines and don't just follow something blindly. I know you are very, very intelligent person and you have a very good idea of what's going on as well, right? Unfortunately, our leaders, well, I want to say this, I'm not saying this might be the case with our leader, but Trump, knowing him, not only Trump, other leaders too, they go and offer leaders of Caribbean, of countries, certain perks and very handsome perks and things like that. You understand? And I don't know if that's the case with our leader, but they do that to control you, to get control, to get what they want. You understand? And what he wants to get is to get the support going. So when he lash Venezuela, they say, yes, well, you understand, it's because of this and because of that. Because he spoke up of the boat and things. You understand? And the issues that happen. You can't be judge, jury, and executioner. That's what the protesters in Jamaica and in America and so on. They have Trump picture, judge, jury, and executioner. Right? And thank God Abdullah and them did a protest here. Right? It was very good. I mean, that's very good. It's good to stand up against these things. I himself here in the big famous one who will be on this black agenda. You understand? You need nothing for them supposed to be leading these types of protests as well. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, my brother, I know you know what's going on, right? I mean, people might lambast me for that because I'm not following nobody blindfoldedly, right? Good? And we're supposed to be more neutral in certain things because they show you certain ththings with CARICOM earlier on. This interview with Abdullah is very good, on Greystone is a very good interview. And I mean, I'm sorry I didn't get to tape it, right? But you take care. I mean, I took enough time, and let's hope things could we could just be conscious of what's going on. You understand? And try to awaken more people and get the ball going.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you very much, Kola.
You take care and keep up your good work and thing, man.
Yeah, man. Blessings to you as well. For many of us who have continually paid attention to the operations, not just of Trump in particular, but U.S. regimes past and present, we not even coming out. We're still seeing the actions of a genocide in Palestine, aided and abetted, operationalized, defended by, a United States regime as well. A regime, we even try to distinguish between the people and what takes place in terms of the politics and the politicians as well. We've seen intervention, not even intervention, invasion after invasion. The history is there for us to also see. But like the caller would have alluded to, you find yourself sometimes in a very difficult position leading a society, leading a country. Greater powers tell you tell you plata or plomo for who understand and who don't understand, right? They speak about and classify others as all kind of names, terrorists, narco, all kind of thing. But in actuality, their actions are shamefully much worse, right? Their actions are hypocritical at best, astonishingly without moral substance. And I would have to echo the words of the Chinese premier. You know, it is like a stone age where the most brute and vile forces, because of their might, what they think might, and their propensity to also use that might, renders them on top of others, right? So we understand what's going on. Good morning, brother. Welcome.
Yeah, morning. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to...
You're talking soft. You start off soft. You're going to get hard.
I say good morning to the international listeners. But I hear a clone. You know, a clone of Heinz. I was lying down here, I was turning and twisting, and I hear a clone of Heinz. This man bet me, and he lost, he bet him. I must say.
Is it clone of Heinz, boy? I want to know because I want to stay far.
The man calling, he hear him speaking like Heinz, the man speak like Heinz, the man sound like Heinz.
No. I tell you, nobody call with that kind of... Nah, not so bad.
The man was saying that some bomb go drop on or refinery and some bomb or some bomb.
Oh, if you imagine that and imagine that. Nah, yeah. You gotta give them the opportunity to express their views, and I do understand the concern. The concern is real.
Who dare do that? Who dare do that? Who? Nicholas Maduro, like he watching the international news. Eric, I have a number. I'm going to send you a video that Nicholas Maduro is begging Trump to come to the table. Let me discuss this. I don't want no war. You're talking English. First time you ever speaking English. To tell Trump that, brother, let me cool yourself now. What you want? You want my oil? What you want from me? You want something? Come for it. Trump say F-A-F-O. F-A-F-O. I don't want nothing. I'm coming for you. Personally. We talking about my bomb. Who wants to drop a bomb there? Everybody stop coming and misleading the people now, boy. Please now, boy. Venezuela, dare not think not even twice. They dare not think once to do anything to this small country who cannot defend itself. I will fix it again. Venezuela dare not, and I dare Venezuela to do anything to my country.
Yeah, but Kingsley, that is not the position to take, right? Between me and you, there has never been any antagonism between us and our neighbor. We have had good relationships as well. They never threaten us in that way.
You're talking about BS on the radio, but bomb.
No. I understand there are people with their agendas, Kingsley, but in terms of...
I have to come and correct that statement.
Yeah, no. We speculating, and the brother just speculated in terms of if there is war.
To come on the radio to push that propaganda and that lie and that misinformation. He too very intelligent for that. I know well.
Right. But he didn't speak anything as fact. Yes, when people step out of the line, I as well try to correct them, right? But people are speculating if there is, if there is some type of confrontation, war in our region, to imagine the fallout or what may take place. That is what he kind of, and I understand, yes, Kingsley, I understand there are people for their political agenda. Fear-mongering is par.
My brother, my position is if any war fought, Trinidad and Tobago are safe. We are safe, and if all the position is that if war fall out, that we must be scared or we must be afraid that they're not going to invade here. That's the confidence I have. They're not going to come here and do a thing is smarter than that. You see the press conference America keep yesterday telling the world that we're going to kill them. Use the word shake up. A Secretary of War. You use the word shake out. We're going to kill them. Donald Trump used the word yesterday. We're going to kill them on public TV. We're going to kill them. We're not going to no Congress to pass no bill to war them. We're going to kill them. We're not going to lock them up. We're not going to hold them. We're not going to say it yesterday. We're going to kill them. And I am so happy that the Americans is coming here to train our soldiers, that our soldiers could learn to drive them power jet, them 47 jet, and then we is going to get good training because you know right now Ukraine wants some missiles to launch in Russia, and Trump let them no, I'm not giving away that missiles because if I give away that missiles, we'll go hit Moscow, the heart of Russia, because them missiles and them where Ukraine president want it hitting the capital. Once that it hitting the capital, and he said to operate that you need at least a year to learn to operate them, to shoot them missiles and them. So I am happy that the most strongest army, not the most largest army. People get China had the most largest army and Russia and them, but the most strongest army, the most military army in the world is coming here to train and to wait for we Coast Guard and we army men to work side by side. I fully endorse it. I fully endorse it. I don't want to front with them, you know. I'm no front of you. Because if them saying that we must be scared, no. The American is working with us. And we are working with the Americans. And the information what the Prime Minister getting, the Minister of Homeland, they will never tell us. They will never tell us what they do. They will only come out here and give us soundbite here and soundbite and some other. But if you're following the politics like me, and you understand the politics like me, you know Trinidad and Tobago is not on no radar for Venezuela to attack us. The main thing about it, that Nicolas Maduro is begging Trump to come to the table. You know, right now, over 2,000 North Korea soldiers dead. The leader of the dictator world, now open a cemetery and telling the people who clapping for him, no matter what, just clapping, and falling.
But who is the leader of the dictator world?
North Korea.
Who said that? Who they say who is a dictator from who is not a dictator?
My brother.
I thought you was going and say your big brother is the leader of the dictator world, you know.
Who, you?
No! Your next big brother will
was president of the world? No, he doesn't.
Kane, not Abel. Kane.
But look at that. Right there in countries in analysis in Israel, in Iran, woman cannot put down the hair. Woman has to be masked up, and the only you have to be in the eye alone, because God make me naked. God made them naked too. But the point is that woman in Iran and the man was sharing the security in Iran. A woman get hold for wearing she head down and not wearing she face mask. She woman get locked up 2 days after she.
Wrong. King's the wrong country, right? So first thing face veil.
Iran. 2 days
I'm telling you, no, you don't know it. No, that's not correct.
It's what country?
No, as certain it's not correct that in Iran somebody got held for not wearing a face veil. I'm certain that is not correct. I'm not asking you, know. I'm certain because...
No, look at me. I'm better than you.
I don't bet either. I don't bet either. But guess what, Kingsley? In the great...
I am chanting New York this morning. I have the facts. I am chanting New York this morning. I am saying in Iran that a young girl gets hold, a nice, beautiful young girl. Nice hair. Because you can't see the face. And you are telling me that people in Iran the girls don't mess up the face? That's what you saying to me?
I'm saying that it's not illegal not to wear a face veil in Iran, so you wouldn't be held for not wearing a face veil. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yes, the girl hell, I'm telling you that my information, and I have full confidence in that news media house, one of the best news media house. It's not a media house from the West, it's a media house from Asia, from the Indian, from Asia, right? So,
don't straight too much, wrap up the points.
No, I'm saying straight. Them, as I say, over there is plenty laws. And I go say, the woman get hold, in 2 days' time, the woman was dead in prison. The same leaders and them who leading over there, his daughter keep her wedding, and the wedding was like the West. Everybody dancing, everybody prancing, everybody. So sometimes you see a man preaching on a stage. He's God and he's God and he's God. And this is. Behind the scenes, he children doing what they want, you know. He children making all kind of thing, you know. So I know the dictator countries, Iran, China, North Korea, Russia. You can protest in Russia. In Venezuela, how much opposition leaders have to run or get locked up? You can protest right now. Big march in King's Day, the march, King's Day from all 52 states. They was marching. You think in Russia you can march against Putin? You think in Venezuela you can march against Maduro? You think in North Korea?
Of course, you could protest and you could march.
But that's 70 facts at that boy. 70 facts at that boy. You think in North Korea? The last time they march, you know what going on? They send the police out there to spray them down. You think that in North Korea?
If you march and protest in the United States, sometimes you get beaten and thrown in jail. If you tell
no, that's facts. That's facts.
Of course, that has happened before. You get arrested and you get brutalized. If you march on Wall Street, if you march in England, you get beaten and arrested.
The bombs could drop you, a lady man, so you could promote that lie and that propaganda to our country. Am I going to correct it?
Yeah.
Dead politically in the cemetery. He trying to stop me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because he bring wrong permission. He calling you to lie, to make me get frightened, to who block come and listen to the radio. But I make them to know what, hey, don't be frightened. Don't be frightened. The same way how they try to cover that propaganda, that PNM, that we country under check. We country not under check. We country the most serious Caribbean country in the Caribbean today. And we have no confidence to be frightened. We stand fully with America. We support America. Ships coming here, the plane coming here, the army men coming here. We are going into Venezuela. We are going to war them, and we're going to kill them. We are going to kill them. We are going to take them out. And the world.
All right, Kingsley. Thank you very much. I understand your point. Blessings. Yeah, man. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, man. Morning to you, listeners. I feel like I gotta do like one of your callers and have 2 tablets for when Kingsley calls because this morning. I
know this morning. Not every morning, yeah, but this morning, Panadol boy.
Yeah, I gotta take back that title that you give to yourself about King of the Airwaves. Because I don't know if you understand Kingsley. In a deck of cards, not all the time when you get deal, you just always have Trump in your hand. So I want you to be careful that you dealt some cards and you have to play it with no Trump in your hand available to you, right? As long as Donald Trump continues how he is operating in office, it is more than likely that there is going to have war in some part of the world in short order, right?
Well, more war than a war already, but more.
Yeah. But on our next topic, the caller who was addressing the shortcomings, for want of a better phrase, as it relates to the actions of Mr. Wade Mapp, right? The acting president, whether it has a precedent set already or not, right? If things have been going wrong, how do we change it? Not by taking a different approach. And the thing I continue to have a challenge with is how these people who are well paid and supposed to be well educated choose to interpret what is clear in black and white in the law. We can simply go to a dictionary and see the difference between consultation and just a simple notification. But the Constitution is clear and says that consultation must take place, but you ultimately have, within your remit, you have the final say. So even if you're consulting just for the purpose of fulfilling what the Constitution says, you should do that and then go ahead and appoint who you choose to at the end of it, right? And then nobody really would have any valid complaints because you would have allowed the consultation to take place. And along with that, the challenge I continue to have is it is the same thing that we see practice from our political parties on both sides, because I am still waiting for somebody to explain to me how did Dr. Rowley manage to interpret the Constitution in a way to appoint Stuart Young when he was never the leader of any party. Was it a Didi party, a Berde party? What party was he leading when Dr. Rowley chose to break all the rules and appoint Mr. Stuart Young? This is the challenge that we continue to have, and even sometime in the courts want to give you a different definition or a different interpretation than what the dictionary outlines for you.
Yeah. Well, those are two different things as well. A literal definition sometimes and a legal definition would have some differences as well. And a legal definition really is outlined sometimes by the courts, which could vary according to the judge presiding. It matters precedents as well. So it is challenging. It's challenging at times, but I hear your concerns in general.
Well, I accept and understand that aspect of it. However, based on the fact of the how English language is structured, if it is we want to not have consultation and just notify, let us change the word, right, to make it clear and say that all we need to do is notify the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, and we could done away with consultation. You see, it's challenging for me to accept that legal minds, right, in a simple case or a simple matter like this, have difficulty understanding the difference between consulting and notifying. And I understand that in legal matters, sometimes the court will have to give a definition or explain certain things and outline it. But what I'm saying is, when we arrive at a point where we uncover or discover that, okay, the best thing to address this is to change the wording of the law to suit man, to suit the actions of man, and we want it so, let us do that. Let us not have this word in there, consult, right? Understanding what the dictionary describes consulting to be, and then pretend like we don't know what consulting is. If we don't want to consult and just want to notify, let us change it in the Constitution to simply say that.
Yeah,
we don't want
I understand your point as well. Thanks, brother. Blessings.
Final point. Lydia still?
Go ahead, sure.
Yeah, let me just make this final point quickly. It's the same thing with Dr. Rowley. If they wanted, let them remove the word leader, the phrase leader of party, so they could appoint anybody they choose to. But you can't just bypass the words and take it upon yourself, your own interpretation, when interpretation already exists for the words, meaning already exists for the words. Leader of party is clear, consultation is clear, but yet still we have people who are acting contrary to that, and Trinidad gets no redress. Part of the reason is we have people who are willing to support any action of any political party or members of political parties as long as they are in support of that political party. That is what continues to have us spinning top in mud.
Yeah,
Kingsley,
I agreed.
All that Lou you come with this morning just passed by the beatum and offloaded. I mean, it's too difficult. I trying to understand how all you could be in support of Donald Trump. Is it that somebody have to take you, right, under duress and be transporting you somewhere, and they blow up the entire ship for you to understand that what is being done is not justice? That is not the way to do things.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to take some other calls. The line's busy. Good morning, caller. We just reaching to the top of the hour, so if you can keep it a bit brief, please.
Good morning, Mr. Backer. Oh God, Chris, you're very unreasonable. You get on like if it's addressed to the nation, and anyway, it seems like we have to listen to the U.S. news to find out what is going on in our country, because our Homeland Minister, Mr. Roger Alexander, he makes a joke of everything. He clowns. He behaves as though he is auditioning for a comedy fest. Please, I hope the Prime Minister will pull him in. What nonsense. Every time you're in Parliament, you're making a joke. Come on, man. Serious thing. So we have to listen to the U.S. news to hear what really taking place and to protect ourselves. I saw some Islamic group put out a list what you should buy and have in your house because of what they think might be coming just now. But listening to Homeland Security, he auditioning for Larry Joseph in concept. You have a blessed weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much. There are a few callers on the line, and I apologize for those who were not able to get in. Good morning. We're almost at the top of the hour, so please be brief. Welcome.
Good morning, God. Well, I mean, God, I'm telling you, because he's telling you from comment all the time that somehow this country going down with the leaders. I don't know. They get them the privilege. Somebody says, I didn't vote, but that, whatever the situation is, so they are to give a mandate. I don't think that mandate working too well presently. Look at it, good. We've always set our money to have a future here, and I want to know which part that money spent, how it's spent, and whatever, because I keep on saying, as much as people being used as a fiddle in this Caribbean right now, I'm looking to see that money going to use as a fiddle for certain people. And all they're talking, they're leading up to one thing: greed, corruption. All they're talking there is leading to one thing in this country for the next 5 years or so: greed and corruption. Please, people, investigate properly. This thing looks like down. The edge of our mind looking like it's showing the difference between consciousness and unconsciousness. Have a nice day. I was short enough. I ain't going too far before it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prezi. Ole Prezi kept it short, and we were forced to do that as well because we out at time. Right? Is already on top of the hour. I'm not going to dismiss the validity of concerns around what is taking place in our region, and we do want people to understand how challenging it could be if there is a certain level of war or of military conflict in our region, which we do not want as a people. I think generally, I would hope that we understand the real ramifications and pray and decide and speak out that we don't want that. We really don't want that. And those who are hell-bent and who are propagating and heading headfirst into that type of level of conflict. We don't want that. We want what is best for Trinidad and Tobago and our region, and that certainly does not include conflict and war. Right? We understand how challenging it is in this political environment, and I keep underscoring to Trinbagonians that we don't dictate, and we are not the United States and their leaders. We are not. As much as Kingsley, for example, feel like he uncle, that is not the uncle. Trump ain't give one jack about him or me or you. Right? So let us be wise. Let us pray for that guidance as well, and let us do what we could do on an everyday basis for the benefit of ourselves and our brothers and sisters in our country. All right, blessings to Trinidad and Tobago. Have a wonderful Friday, and we'll be back, God willing, on Monday. Take care.
God, your financial support through the First Citizens Bank would be greatly appreciated. Account number 795-222. For further information, call 753-1113 or 610-4673.
This is the voice of Tuesday, Seventh-day Adventist.